How did you become a real-life superhero? Update. I'm spreading the word of shitstorm through several random chemical attacks during lunch while no one was looking. I'd open their backpacks and spray a few times. I'd go to the locker room while it was empty and spray someone's clothes. If people left their hoodies unattended, you guessed it, I pre-wrote a bunch of handwritten notes that I'd leave with every single person you've been nose-punched by the cynical shitstorm. It doesn't take long for word to spread. It's even caught wind with the faculty and teachers. We get an announcement on the speakers one day from the principal to paraphrase whoever is making the entire school smell. When you are caught, you will be punished to the full extent of our school code. That won't stop me. The reign of shitstorm has only begun. After that announcement, ease up on all the attacks because homecoming was on its way. Of course, it was all part of the plan. I had to put everyone at a state of ease, make them feel like the prank was over. This is just the calm before the shit storm. I knew exactly where the ventilators for the auditorium were, where the homecoming was being held during lunch the Friday before homecoming. I walked into the room with the ventilators, tied a shoelace around the doorknob, and hid an old backpack with an old Scream mask for Halloween I used years ago and a change of clothes, hoodie, jeans, old running shoes. I also hid a wire hanger in the indoor bleachers. This will come into play later. In total, I had 11.5 bottles of the spray, got 10 plastic bags and 10 old socks, put the socks in the bags, and dumped an entire bottle of ass spray per bag. They were completely soaked in the spray. I almost vomited during this part from the concentrated smell of ass. Seal the bags, those all go into a fanny pack as well as some extra rubber gloves and the remaining bottle and a half of spray. The planning is over, now to carry on with the execution. It's the night of homecoming. I got my suit on with my fanny pack tucked in. I got in. The place is packed with people from all grades, probably around 400 people. I get into the bleachers, grab my hanger, thankful no one moved it, walk outside the back exit, walk over to the door with ventilators inside. It's locked. As expected, untwist the hanger so it's one long hook, shove it under the door, move it around and twist it a couple times, yank it out. The shoelace was traveled around the hook, pull the shoelace, opening the door from the inside, get in and close the door. Hard part is over. Since the door is locked from the outside, I can take my time executing this next part. I change over my clothes to my hoodie and mask and take all the socks out of their bags and have them all ready in the fanny pack on my side. I gather everything into the backpack, including the hanger and shoelace. I glove up and get the remaining bottles of ass spray out. I pour them right into the ventilators. It'll take a minute to hit. Only one more step of the plan. Step out the ventilator room and I'm outside the back of the auditorium, wearing my hoodie, mask, and backpack. My fanny pack is open with my socks and I take a deep breath. It's time to run like hell. I charged in there like a maniac, throwing the smelly socks as I was running across the auditorium. It was a two-front attack, by air and ground, both executed by me. Everyone was scared. Seeing a guy in a hoodie and bloody Scream mask sprinting towards them would scare anyone. I wasn't so much aiming for people as I was spreading the socks to maximize stink. Although the socks were dripping wet, I'm sure people were getting sprayed by the wet socks getting tossed around. I throw my last sock and charge out of there as quick as possible. The adrenaline was real. It felt like I was in there for maybe 5 minutes. It couldn't have been longer than 20 to 30 seconds in reality. As I was running out, I heard everyone going apeshit over the smell. I couldn't stay for the aftermath. I couldn't afford getting caught. As I'm running away from the school, I'm taking off everything and shoving it into different people's trash cans. I ran 3 miles back home. I've never felt a thrill like that, sneaking inside, hopping in the shower, checking Facebook and seeing people from school posting about what happened. Shitstorm just ruined our homecoming. I just had to trash my suit because of shitstorm. Thank you for making homecoming interesting. Shitstorm. School had to close down for a month so they could get rid of the stench. 2 weeks we had off. The other 2 we had to get portable classrooms. Apparently those ventilators also leaked into the classes. I made the school news. Someone anonymously said I ruined high school for them. I'm 99% certain it was Bryce. A year later, Shitstorm was more of a vigilante at this point. I'd hit kids who I deemed deserved it. Bryce is trying to make his way up the food chain by bullying again. Sad enough, it was working. He was making girls laugh and he's socializing with all the cool kids again. This time I was going to hit home for him, literally. At this point, Bryce had a car. Spoiled guy. After school, I took note of the car he drove. I knew the general area he lived in but not the exact house. I rode around with my bike until I found it. Shit is about to hit the fan. I had no classes with Bryce this year, so he wouldn't notice if I took a day off school. The dumb meathead left his window cracked, thinking living on the 2nd story wouldn't matter. Shitstorm has already established he can hit you from above. I'm actually offended that homecoming didn't leave that impression on him. After he and parents leave, I climb on the roof and open his window, obviously using rubber gloves to not leave fingerprints. I sprayed the hell out of everything in his room: clothes, bed, pillow, closet. I saw his cat chilling on his nightstand just observing and then sprayed the hell out of his cat. I go home and play Xbox for the rest of the day. The next day at school I heard the news: Shitstorm got his cat.